Let's get a check of the forecast.
It looked foggy. You can actually still see this cloud layer that's very low over the city right now, Pamela.
Gross out there, PG.
Yeah, it really is. It's a tough start to this Tuesday here, and the great napping weather will continue today, tomorrow afternoon, too. We have some heavy rain in the forecast tomorrow, but today it's all about that fog, that freezing fog, too. Eventually, we see warming temps, and that's going to lead to lots of rain into Wednesday. 2 to 4 inches of rain with some thunderstorms, damaging wind on top of it Wednesday late afternoon and overnight, with gusts from the south of 60 miles per hour, even greater too. Flooding potential is there with so much rain in such little time. Urban, small stream, and even some river flooding reflected in some areas across western New England, where we have some snow melt combined with all the heavy rain over the coming days. So here's the picture right now. Radar doesn't look too bad, right? But we have all those low clouds, and it's freezing in place because of that freezing fog. Temperatures around 32. It's going to linger for the next couple of hours here. As we see down to the south and east, this is where we get our next system for tomorrow, and a first alert day with tons and tons of moisture moving in directly from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. We tap into all of that, as we see in the water vapor in the air map, where you get these deeper greens and yellows. That's a lot of water to work with, and some of that will translate to the ground throughout the day on Wednesday, while drier air is just to the west. It's going to be a quick transition with the drier weather coming in on Thursday. So for the rest of today, we're watching for those icy spots lingering across the Merrimack Valley, the Worcester Hills, southern parts of even New Hampshire. Temperatures hover right around 32. We're 36 in Boston by 3:15, and slowly warming up as we go through your overnight forecast. Areas of patchy freezing drizzle will be possible across the hills until about midnight, and then everyone's warming up. 5:45, we're in the 40s, 50s along the south coast, Buzzards Bay, Cape Cod, and this is where we start to see an uptick in the wind, but also the rain. It's a very, very wet day for us on this Wednesday afternoon, 2:30. A couple of thunderstorms will be possible. And look, some of the latest forecast model information shows a little bit of dry air trying to work its way in just before the grand finale. If you can deal with that gusty wind, 4:45 or so, may get to head outside and just kind of enjoy that 63-degree temperature. But briefly, make sure you're blocked from that south wind. It does ramp up very quickly by 8:15. This is the worst of it as we get this squall line of thunderstorms rolling through, and behind it, a cold front. It is an actual cold front. We wrap up the rain chance overnight Wednesday into early Thursday, but it's going to be a loud and very windy definitely event, as we see 45 to 55 mile per hour winds Wednesday afternoon and evening, 55 plus. I've included parts of Cape Ann with that 55 plus mile per hour wind gust potential. And coinciding with that, we have the chance for isolated outages, especially south with that southerly wind. I don't expect any coastal flooding. It is not coming from the north and east, so South Shore areas and tides aren't running that high. So that is a good thing, but outage risk will be out and about until about 11 o'clock once this system rolls by. We have high wind watches posted for Wednesday for the eastern half of New England. In the meantime, flood watches for the same period of time north and west. This encompasses most of northern New England, and that's combining the snow melt with all this heavy rain through the day on Wednesday. 2 to 3 inches widespread, with locally some areas getting 4 inches of rainfall. And here in the Northeast, all eyes on all this heavy rain, leading to that flood risk and even a flash flood chance, with scattered potential for that all across much of Massachusetts and in Boston. First alert day on Wednesday. We're wet, we're windy, we're 64 degrees. My goodness, it feels like springtime, and then it's back to winter. Breezy Thursday, back to a high of 34 by Friday.